Hi guys, this is Kristen Martinez with www.paxtherapy.com. Today I want to talk about talking about difficult things outside of your family. A lot of us get brought up that you're supposed to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, that talking about going through difficult things, talking about things going on in your home or in your family is not okay to do. Some groups and some families have that as a bigger theme and some less as a theme. I know that I think I noticed that I was doing that to my own children, and I think that I also learned that. Kids grow up with a very unhealthy awareness of social workers, and if I talk about this, then the police are gonna come. It's definitely something that gets said at my house because I don't want to listen to the crying anymore. However, we have to think about what kind of message we're sending to our children. And I know that's being silly, and of course we're still going to be doing that. But at the same time, are we sending them a message of it's okay to reach out for help? Because a lot of times we're afraid that when they come and tell us something, that they're also going to go run and tell like a social worker. To be honest, most teachers, don't report when they should anyway. So after all, we really want our kids to grow up knowing that we're there for them, that we're going to help them through it. And a lot of times they're coming to us, they're saying, hey, something's not right. I'm feeling this certain way. And if we're not a professional, it's really difficult for us to know what really is going on. And so giving our children the space to tell us how they're feeling, how they feel about people, what they know, what they don't know, is really important without telling them, now don't go tell so-and-so or don't go tell so-and-so, because in the end, really, if they're feeling uncomfortable and unsafe, we want them to tell people, no matter what the repercussions are for the family. We want our children to be safe. And so if they're uncomfortable and feeling unsafe, then they do need to say something, right? And so this today is just for you guys. Let's not make anybody in society feel like they're a taboo because we won't talk about the issues happening in our homes. Families are dealing with emotional abuse. We say mean, horrid things to our children. I don't care who you are, it happens. It happens. But because we don't talk about it, we create a problem that where people feel like this is only happening to me. It's not happening to anybody else because nobody else is talking about it. In our homes and in our families, there's a lot of sexual abuse happening, and we won't talk about it. We definitely don't talk about it if it's our family. In our homes, there's neglect going on. There's drug use. There's alcohol and substance abuse. And nobody's talking about it until they're 25, 30, 45 years old is the first time they are able to say, hey, this happened to me growing up and it's not okay. And if we can start the conversation at a much earlier age, we can kind of mitigate some of the effects of the trauma that is happening in our homes. Kaiser Permanente and the Center for Disease Control did a study a long while ago on college-educated, middle-class, mostly Caucasian white people. And what they found is that 70% of them experienced, I'm going to look at something, because sometimes I forget one of them, experienced at least one of the following traumatic events. Your parents weren't insulted or humiliated you growing up. Like, who hasn't, right? Your parent hit you, slapped you, or used something to hit you for punishment. You were touched, fondled, made touch, fondle, or another person. You felt unloved growing up. You had dirty clothes, didn't have enough to eat, etc., etc. Your parent had a drinking or drug problem. Your parents are divorced, separated, not in the picture. Your parent was hit, threatened, grabbed by another adult in hearing, or visual distance from you. Someone in your home struggled with mental health difficulties, right? Who hasn't? A household member was incarcerated or sent to prison and or detained, deported, etc. So I want you guys to know it's really serious, it's really widespread, and we need to start having conversations of the reality of things that are happening in our homes. So let's not make anybody taboo.